Ramadan as a mercy to mankind. It's a purification of our soul, our heart and our mind. Bear with patience for the sake of our Rahman. A continuous training to strengthen our Iman. With the most sincere devotion and love we fast, to be cleansed and free from sins of the past.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello and welcome, dear Huda TV viewers, to the fifth of our 10 episodes of Ramadan Changed Me, your program where we all together try to be the best that we can be through positive change and through self-development, through investing in our relationship with Allah, with ourselves and with our communities. It's also the program where we can win a lot of prizes. The grand prizes can only be won through subscribing to e.hulul.net and doing for yourself the self-evaluation and psychological tests. The pre-tests are ongoing and also continuous tests throughout the program. And of course, the final test after the end of the holy month. And it's only there where you can win prizes totaling up to 80,000 Saudi riyals. The first prize is 20,000, the second 15, the third is 10. Prizes from the 4th to the 10th position are worth 5,000 riyals each, while prizes from the 11th to the 30th are worth 1,000 Saudi riyals each, and from the 31st to the 40th, 500 Saudi riyals each. Don't forget, you can also win with us a daily laptop by answering our Islamic trivia question that comes to your way at the end of the show via sending an SMS to the number that will be appearing on the screen. And that number is 002 014 327 1771. In a very short while, we'll be telling you about the winner of the last episode's laptop of yesterday's question. Don't forget, you can also join us live via phone by calling us on 002 02 38 555 248 or 249 and emailing us at ramadanchangedme@huda.tv. Before we proceed, we remind you of yesterday's question and we'll tell you about the winner. Yesterday's question was, what was the name of the foster sister of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And the choices were Al-Rumaysa, Al-Khansa, or the third choice was Al-Shayma', and that was the correct answer. Answer number 3, Al-Shayma' was the name of the foster sister of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the winner of the 4th laptop on Ramadan Changed Me is Sister Iman Ahmed from Qatar. Again, Sister Iman Ahmed from Qatar. Congratulations. You're the 4th winner of our daily laptops. 3 sisters and 1 brother so far, as we've given away 4 daily laptops, still 6 to go. And don't forget, of course, the grand prizes by logging at e.hulul.net, e.holol.net, and do the self-evaluation test for yourself. Of course, we have the great pleasure of being guided here in this program by Sheikh Ramiz Ibrahim, who is psychotherapy specialist and life coach specialist and self-development trainer, who has been talking to us about introducing yourself to yourself, making the intention to change, self-evaluation methods, and self-development techniques. And in this episode, we will be talking about societal contribution or social sympathy. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And of course, we're joined in the studios by brothers who share with us the same goal of investing in their relationship with Allah and with themselves and their communities, try to be the best they can be, and they are. We reintroduce you to them, brothers Abdullah Adiyami, who is a manager of a private school in Cairo, brother Amr Abdul Al, who is a student in the Faculty of Arts, brother Aisha Saeed, who is a software developer, and brother Sharif Hamdi, who is a teacher of English language. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, the floor is yours.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. We spoke yesterday a few things about changing character and some exercises that we could have done to actually make that apparent. Today, inshallah, I want to remind us all that it's the month of Ramadan, and we need to change in this month of Ramadan. And we need to make a positive affirmation to ourselves, especially now that I think over the first half or the first third of Ramadan has passed, and that we have to now start re-evaluating ourselves again. Prior to Ramadan, we should have affirmed to ourselves a positive change in regards to where am I now and what do I want, what change do I want during Ramadan, and not let another Ramadan go and say, well, at least I've got next Ramadan. With shaitan waswas in your ear, don't worry, next Ramadan, procrastination. And then we need to re-evaluate ourselves all throughout Ramadan. In fact, on a daily basis. How much change have we had during Ramadan? Every day. You know, at night time when you're by yourself reading Quran, or if you stay up at night and just reflecting and contemplating on yourself and what contribution you've given to society today, or yesterday, or the last week. According to the life coaching sphere around the world, they've come together and put together 6 human needs. I'm not sure if I mentioned them to you before. The first one being certainty. The second one is variety, significance, love and connection, growth and contribution. The first 4 are primal needs of a human being, and the last 2, contribution and growth, are a spiritual need to give and receive. Everyone needs to have certainty in somewhat in their lives, otherwise insecurities will prevail. The understanding that we need basics like money and food and getting married and connection and being with people and etc. And there are other resources as regards to this, and we need to understand that we need to feel happy, we need to feel content, and that will only happen when we submit to the will of our Creator, because that's when we'll have certainty of our existence. An intelligent human being can be an intelligent fool, if you know what I mean. You can be intelligent, but you can be an intelligent fool. For example, a person who does not know why he exists, why he was created, and doesn't reflect on the fact that they've come into this world for a reason. They're too busy fulfilling their shahawat, fulfilling their desires, to wonder about why am I here? Why am I here? And this is certain, and true certainty begins with submission to your Creator, and you are certain of your existence. The rest will come very easy, inshallah. The second being variety. So we all need variety and a sense of adventure, and this is what variety gives. Sometimes it clashes with certainty. What you need and variety clashes, and the less you know about halal and haram, the least you're going to know where it clashes and how it affects your psyche. And this sometimes can conflict, obviously, between certainty and variety, and it's about you gaining the balance. Okay, gaining the balance. Significance. Everyone needs to feel significance. I feel significant here. We're on a TV studio, and I thought I'd never be able to stand in front of a camera and portray information to people that may benefit them. And standing here, you may think it's very easy, but I'm petrified. But it gives me significance. I'm with people of like-minded, and I want to help people as well as help them to help me. How they help me is when it benefits someone, I feel like I'm doing my job properly, and that gives me significance. Love and connection. We need to all have to have a way of being connected to another human being, whether it be through love or marriage or friendship. We need that connection, human connection. And those people who are feeling very lonely and they haven't any of this, we ask Allah to make it easy for them. And there are people, even Muslims, who feel lonely when they have somebody. And this is because they don't love themselves. I'm sure we've heard between husband and wife, well, I have anyone when I'm doing counselling, oh, I know he says he loves me, or I know she says she loves me, but I don't feel it. I don't feel it. And that's because they don't feel worthy of that love. Why does my husband love me so much? Why does my wife love me so much? I've got insecurity. I don't believe you love me because I don't love myself. So how can you love me? So that means you can't love me. It's a psychological process. And the last two, these are for primal needs, are growth and contribution. And this is the two main things about social sympathy and societal contribution. When you give, you actually grow. When we give zakat, okay, we purify ourselves. We feel good about it. Most people that come to me for life coaching or any kind of counseling or psychotherapy and they feel depressed, the question is, how can a Muslim feel depressed? But they can. And you ask them, how much sadaqah, how much charity have you given the last week, last 2 weeks? From last Ramadan to this Ramadan, what are the goals that you've set yourself that you're going to do this during Ramadan? Oh yes, I'm going to go and buy food and give to the poor. Have you done that yet? No. Go and do that, then come and see me.
خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً to the end of
give, yeah.
to the end of the
So
verse.
this is the thing. When we all need to grow, and we grow by being tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more He tests us, the more we will grow. And if we just accept the test and move with it and have patience with it, okay, the end result will be a transformation. Now, contribution. Sometimes we don't want to contribute. It's hard to put our hands in our pocket. When I go to the mosque or the local community centre back home in the UK, sometimes I stand out there with the bucket and all I say is, this will sound funny, parking ticket, £30. Parking ticket, £30. Harrow, £30. Ealing, £40. Parking ticket, £30. What I'm talking about is, if they received a parking ticket, they would pay it. They would have to pay it. But when it comes to contributing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, well, let me see how much change I have left in my pocket. But when they get a parking ticket from the Baladiyah, the Hukumah, they'll pay it. 40, 50 pounds, someplace 60 pounds.
It's amazing how you explained it, Sheikh. And
Yeah.
you said, let's see how much change I have left.
I have left.
So first of all, it's change. It's very little.
And listen, how much,
and then I have
yes.
I have left.
And this is a fact. This is not, it happens all the time, because it's hard for us to put hands, our pockets are long and our hands are short. But then we say, we'll love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
May God, may Allah
Of course.
purify us all. Dear viewers, we'll be taking a very short break here in our episode. We'll be back with Sheikh Ramiz Ibrahim and our dear guests in the studios right after the break. Stay tuned.
Patience for the sake of Ar-Rahman, a continuous training to strengthen our Iman.
Ramadan is the best time for the night prayer. All of us are supposed to change ourselves during the month of Ramadan because it's the best chance. Join us on Inspirations during Ramadan so that we can help each other to lift our Iman up and strengthen our hearts and get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. And tajweed is a science that you cannot learn it on your own.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, he told us that, we're never in the extremes, that we're always between it. We're in the middle path. He told us to take this middle path. We're the nation of the middle path. Ummatan wasatan, down the middle.
Bear with patience for the sake of Ar-Rahman, a continuous training to strengthen our Iman.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh once more, dear viewers. Sheikh Ramiz Ibrahim, our psychotherapy specialist and a life coach specialist, was talking to us about societal contribution and talking to us about how difficult it is sometimes for us to give. Again, may God purify us all. Coach, you still want to proceed on some points?
Yeah. Do you remember the phrase, when you go to the gym, no pain, no gain? Well, in growing in self-growth and development, this is actually literal. Whenever you feel pain in regards to your soul, like you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for patience. You can't buy patience in the shop. You know, £2 a kilo of patience, please, and £3 kilos of iman. Allah gives it to you. But He gives it to you through life changes. He puts you through life-changing situations where you'll feel the pain, because then after the pain will come gain. Out of pain comes transformation. Now, the reason people, in my opinion, find it very difficult to give, they don't really believe that Allah's Ar-Razaq, or the fact that they believe but not enough belief, not enough iman in this.
Indeed.
Our rizq was written 50,000 years before the heavens and the earth were created. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that no soul shall die before he's expended all his rizq that was decreed for him. Now think about this, okay? So in that light, that we have to keep making dua and making halal endeavors, and Allah will give, because our rizq, our bank balance is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we mustn't feel impatient and get our rizq before time in a haram way. And this is what's going to cause a person not to grow. In fact, they'll go less and less. Now, we know the verse of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I mentioned it here before, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ وَمَن يَتَّوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. That anyone that has taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will provide him a makhraja, an exit, a way out from every difficulty, and provide for him from sources he could never imagine where it come from. And if you put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's sufficient. Now, everyone in this room, and in the whole world, and the viewers, I'm sure you've had in a situation whereby you have been in a predicament, a dilemma, that this one's going to get me. I haven't got enough. And someone taps you on the shoulder and gives you a helping hand. Much like the person who is drowning in the sea and says, Allah save me. A ship comes along and we're here to save you. No, Allah will save me. Happens 2 or 3 times, the man dies. Meets Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Says, Allah, I make dua to you to save me. He said, I sent you 3 ships. Allah's not going to come down and save you. He's going to send by the means of a dunya. By the means of the dunya. Now, giving and taking. Ashir. Giving and taking. We have to ask yourself a question. Yourself and myself. Everybody has to ask this question. Am I a giver or am I a taker? Both, obviously. We do give and take. But my giving and taking here is in the light of not material things. Time. Effort. How much do you put yourself out for others?
If I'm going to be honest, I would say that it will be a 50-50 split. I do give as much as I can, but I also, to a certain extent, take as well, where I need to. I try my best to deal with people and to be friendly and to give time, but sometimes it can be difficult if it's not reciprocated. You don't receive that back.
That's what I wanted to come to point.
Yeah.
It does feel a little bit frustrating. I'm giving. But we all have this problem.
Because in my mind, I feel I'm giving a lot. And maybe I feel I'm not getting it back, which can...
And maybe it's only in your mind.
Maybe
you're not giving a lot, but that's how we feel
maybe
sometimes.
The fault is with me that I expect to receive when I give. This is maybe my own fault.
Or maybe the fault is in us, Sheikh, that we think we are really giving, but actually we're not giving.
If we give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Abdullah.
I'm the opposite to Ashir. I think I'm a giver, and I don't take enough. And I feel like if I don't give...
You feel like you don't take enough? Recompense?
I feel like I don't take enough because I feel like as if taking is not part of me and giving satisfies me.
Oh, okay, good. So giving does actually contribute to your self-being.
It satisfies me to give.
Right.
And I can go without. But I do need it, but only a few people can see that.
I understand. Amr.
I think I'm balanced. You know, I give and take. So I give people
I want
time.
The feeling. How does it feel? When you give, how do you feel? And when you're waiting to take, but it doesn't come, how do you feel? This is...
Yeah, when I give people time, advice when needed. I feel like I'm living. I'm a living person.
Okay.
But also, I think that I'm waiting for something in turn. Is this right or bad? I'm a giver or taker. I give something, but sometimes I'm waiting for something in turn.
Right. It's like a drug. You want to contribute to Sharif?
Yeah, of course. I think being a giver is much better than being a taker, of course. And for me, I try always to be a giver, but sometimes I have to. It becomes a necessary thing for me to take. Okay, but most of the
Necessary
time.
is the word.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So it's like a drug. You do a little bit, and then you want a bit more, then you want a bit more, because you want that feeling. So when you give time to people that are always wanting it, or when you give anything to those people who are always wanting it, can we contribute as much to the same people all the time, and we feel they get the same benefit? Or should we look for people who are more poorer to get the real benefit then, to feel a bit more of it? You come to me for help, alhamdulillah, I give you help. And then again, or vice versa. Okay, but the feeling becomes like we reach a threshold. Now I'm going to find someone who's really more needy for me to feel more of that feeling of a giver. But if we did everything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'd have no problems. إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
It's a call, Sheikh
No.
Rams Ibrahim. It's
طيب.
Sister Sarah from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum. You're on air, Sister Sarah. Assalamu alaikum. Sheikh Rams Ibrahim is with you.
Audition to make.
Please.
Assalamu alaikum.
There is this magazine that I
You
read
should turn the
on.
TV set on.
Alaikum
Yeah.
assalam.
Sister, could you turn your TV down, please? Because we're not going to hear you at all. Sister, can you hear me?
If you can hear us,
Assalamu
Sister
alaikum,
Sarah.
Sister Sarah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, you
Proceed, please.
Okay. You need to turn the TV
Okay,
down.
it's a contribution I want to make.
Yes, we hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, it's a contribution I want to make.
Yes, sister.
There is,
Continue.
I want to make a contribution to the Muslim Ummah.
I think we've lost her.
May Allah bless you and accept your
Ameen.
contribution, inshallah. Sheikh Ramiz, the issue also of giving and taking sometimes is relative, isn't it? Because a person could be generous by giving money, but he could be the opposite in giving time. And you can find other people who give affection,
this is a very good
but
point.
who don't give teachings. Somebody is caring with his children, but not with people outside.
It's relative in the sense that you can give to your capacity. Allah's not going to judge you in your incapacity, what you can't give. But He will judge you on a thing that you can give and you don't. Okay? Allah doesn't care if you give a 1 million or a pound, or 1 janay or a million janay. To Allah, it's not the amount. It's the sincerity behind the action.
Indeed.
It has nothing to do with the amount at all.
And of course we have an example from Surah At-Tawbah, for instance, those people who wanted to help Rasulullah ﷺ and to give money to the Muslim army to fight, but when he said لا أجد ما أحملكم عليه, I can't ask anything from you, they wept. But God will still grant them. Of course,
it's the intention behind the ikhlas and niyyah again. Whatever, if a person who has who only can afford 1 janay, but his sincerity is beyond measure, Allah will reward him, Allahu alam. But the person who gives 1 million guinea, but at night time is thinking, maybe I should have only given 1,000 guinea, and I should have kept the rest. Allah's only going to reward him. He's given 1 million, but Allah will only reward him for the 1,000 that he mentioned. That's the intention now. He's taken back now. He's given the 1 million, the amount, but with the intention. But at night time he's feeling nadam, he's feeling, maybe it's too much money I've given now. And that's different. This is why Iman is degrees, and this is why Jannah has different levels.
Indeed. Well, it's always great time, really, Sheikh Ramiz, to hear you talk.
Pleasure.
And we hope that the program would be more than 30 minutes. But unfortunately, again, as we've said it throughout, time always cuts us short. Dear viewers, before we go, and before telling you about tonight's question, the daily Islamic trivia question where you can win a daily laptop, we want to clarify something. Because we've heard some complaints about, how do you pick the winners and so on. Well, of course, we get hundreds and thousands of SMSs. And first of all, the first thing we do is pick the ones that have the correct answer. Of course, we might have, and so far we've seen almost 50% of the SMSs have the correct answer, and the other 50 have a wrong answer. So of course you can't get a prize if you have the wrong answer. So first of all, you pick the ones that have a correct answer. Then we put that in a computer program that picks randomly, that randomly picks the numbers. So it's just random. And we want to assure you, and I'm sure you will feel good about that, that most of the time the man who does that random test is Sheikh Ramiz Ibrahim himself. The random test.
I only press a button.
Yeah, that's it. It's the computer.
And the computer does the rest. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So it's the computer that chooses the winner via a specific program where our Sheikh presses a button. So we want to assure you of the absolute integrity here, alhamdulillah. The question now of our fifth episode, so a chance at a fifth laptop. We've had winners before from Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Qatar so far. What is the surah whose last verse requires performing the prostration of recitation? And the three choices are Al-A'raf, Nuh, Al-Qalam. Again, the question, what is the surah whose last verse requires performing the prostration of recitation, which is As-Sujood, Sujood At-Tilawa. The three choices are 1, Surah Al-A'raf, 2, Surah Nuh, 3, Surah Al-Qalam. So all you do is send us an SMS to 002. Yep, I lost that. Here it is, 002-014-3271771, appearing on the screen. You write your name, your country, and the number of the correct choice. And inshallah, you'll be the winner. Good luck. Thank you, dear viewers, for joining us here. We're halfway through our 10 episodes. Make sure you do join us in the remaining 5 here in the days of the great holy Muslim month of Ramadan. On behalf of you, we thank very much Sheikh Ramiz Ibrahim, our life coach specialist, psychotherapy specialist, and self-development trainer, and hope to see you tomorrow, inshallah, Sheikh.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
And alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And we also thank our brothers here in the studio, brothers Abdullah Adiyami, Amr Abdul Al, Ashir Saeed, and Sharif Hamzi. Thank you, brothers, and we thank you, dear viewers at home. We hope you join us again tomorrow, same time. Until then, this is Muhammad Abdul Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Glory be to Allah who sent Ramadan as a mercy to mankind. It's a purification of our soul, our heart and our mind. Bear with patience for the sake of our Rahman. A continuous training to strengthen our Iman.